Now we jump into Disturbed. Now, I'm a big metal fan. I am a big metal fan. I have seen Disturbed 3 times? 3 times. 3 times? 3 times. I've seen Disturbed 3 times, and I love Disturbed. I know every Disturbed song. I'm that fan. And this is an interesting tour. This tour was their 20th anniversary of The Sickness. 20th? 20th. 25th. 25th anniversary of The Sickness? Yeah. 25th anniversary of The Sickness, their debut album, and they were playing this album cover to cover. This was opened by Through the Never? No. Through something. Anyways, not important because I didn't get to see them. The friggin' opening band went on at 5:30. Like, I'm sorry, I work. Like, I can't take off a whole. I took off a whole day, but that's the way I am when it comes to concerts. I just don't like rushing. My wife can't, so like we left at 5, and we knew we weren't going to see the opening band. We did, however, see the second opening act, and that was Daughtry. I have never seen Daughtry live. I was not impressed. I'm sorry. I've never been a Daughtry fan. It's never been my thing. And it was weird when I saw him pop up as the opening act because I'm like, I know like 2 of his songs, and they're not really Disturbed-like songs. So it was an odd choice in my opinion. But the crowd seemed to like him. They seemed to be into it. But personally, I was like, I really don't care for this. Like, it's not my bag. And again, I know lots of people who love him. It's just not for me. This was an interesting concert. There's a couple things that happened at this that I never expected. So they start out with The Sickness, and they go literally from track 1 all the way through. They play it very theatrically, which I appreciate because if you've never seen Disturbed, if you haven't seen Disturbed recently, they've kind of pulled back on theatrics. They've never really been a theatrical band. They started as one though, and I'm glad they brought it into this. If you've ever seen clips of their club shows, you know that David Draymond, the lead singer, was always coming out on the backboard, wrapped up like Hannibal Lecter. So having them reproduce that today was a lot of fun. Seeing him carted out, they take the shackles off, he goes into the songs, which was just, it was beautiful seeing that type of theatrics come out. And it seems like they were having a lot of fun using those theatrics. So I hope they keep those going because I remember seeing them the first time, and I think it was during their Indestructible tour. And there was some theatrics. Like, I think they had a big inflatable of the guy in the back. Or maybe it was just a big banner. And it was good, but I've seen clips of their recent tours, and it seems like they've pulled back a lot. And I just felt like they're missing a bit. It really felt like it was missing a little bit of it. Like, I'm not looking for Kiss. Like, I get it. They're not that. But, like, when you do the theatrics and it pulls people in and then you take it away, it kind of feels like you're missing something. So having them do those theatrics was great. And it wasn't just for the Sickness section, which I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be for that. They go through cover to cover, and I'm belting out every single song. Great vocals, great playing. They did everything amazing during the Sickness. The last song on the album, if you know it, is Meaning of Life, which is a great song, especially because, again, they bring out more theatrics. David Draymond brings out the electric chair. They set him in it. They zap him. He starts bleeding all over himself. He kicks out, starts jumping around, sings Meaning to Life, which was incredible. And then they had an intermission, which I wasn't expecting. He's literally in the chair, and they zap him, and you see the blood coming down on him. And I'm like, I've worked on stages before. They're going to have to wipe that up. So as soon as the song ended, I'm like, all right, let's get the crew out here to just make sure. And the banner drops, and I'm like, okay, they're going to quickly do it behind a banner. And then they're like, Disturbed will be back in 20 minutes. And I'm like, we're doing an intermission? Like, I appreciate it because I got to go to the washroom. But, like, I've never had that before where a band has been like, give me 20 minutes. But it was because they were changing the sound. They were changing the stage, which I did not expect. Like, the stage wasn't crazy detailed. They had like big piping and stuff, which I've seen clips before that all goes on fire, but they did a lot more than that. So they did the intermission and then they came back, and why can't I remember the drummer's name? Anyways, they had put his drum set on a riser. Actually, I think it was a completely different set because the artwork on the bass drums was different. And then when they started into sort of the greatest hits section, a big inflatable, the mascot, came up from behind him, which looked really cool live. We were joking that we need that for like on top of our house because we have the 7-foot skeleton or the 9-foot skeleton in our backyard. We need something else, so we want that on top of our house. And then they went through the hits. They went through almost every hit you could think of. They went through Land of Confusion. They went through Inside the Fire. They went through Sound of Silence. The Sound of Silence had its own theatrics. They kind of put the draping back up again. They had the piano up on the little sort of walkway, and the piano lit on fire as what's his name? The guitar player was playing it. Killed Sound of Silence, which I had no doubt he would. They brought someone on stage, which was great. There's a kid at the front row who was screaming the whole night. They brought him on stage with his dad, and they did a song called The Light, which is really cool. It's a really great song. Really good if you're going through stuff. That's the song to listen to. And everybody, when he yells The Light, everyone had their phones out and put them up in the air, which literally like lit up the whole arena, which was cool looking. And then there was no encore. Like, they literally went through all the greatest hits, and they're like, thank you, Toronto. And I'm sitting there going, they've played everything. Like, what are they going to play for the encore? Because Sickness is usually the encore song, but that was at the beginning. So I'm like, what are you playing? And then the lights came up, and I'm like, oh, we're just done. So when it comes to Disturbed, I might see them again. I don't know. Like I said, I've seen them 3 times now, and I've kind of seen them play everything I want to. And with the cost of tickets going up every single day, it seems like, I don't know if I'll go again, but it was great seeing them. It was great seeing them play The Sickness from cover to cover because there was definitely some songs in there that I've never heard live, and hearing them live was nice.